Pete with Philly Rovers here, guys, of the Roverseas YouTube channel here for my post-game Blackburn Rovers, Rotherham Millers at New York Stadium. Reaction here, 2-2 Rovers clawing back into it, and they scrap a point here today somehow with the help of one referee today who perhaps lost his mind a little bit of it. But we will take it whichever way we can get it. We've been on the back end of this for many unfortunate events throughout the years, but today we got the helping hand today because I did not think it was too warranted, that second yellow. Not sure what happened. Thought I missed something, but the replay doesn't seem to show so much. Not sure if there was more to it than what we actually saw, but yeah, I don't know what will happen there. I thought, and I also thought we were going to see a second week in a row where the opposing manager of the Rovers, Carlos Corberan, last week, he got the red card, and I thought it was headed for Matt Taylor, who got a yellow, and they were headed for the sidelines to give the second yellow there, but it went to another assistant coach on the sidelines, so Matt Taylor strays away from a second yellow, and that would have been some stat there 2 weeks in a row. We're getting under the skin of these managers. They're losing their cool, and they don't know what to do against us. But yeah, the referee did lend us a hand today, and we were the benefactors of such. A Downham and Rotherham were there for a good 30, 40 minutes, and I somewhat disappointed. We come away with a point. I really wanted 3 once we went up a man because we were threatening. It was, I'm getting greedy, guys. I know we were lucky to get the 2 goals from Sammy Smonich, who, mind you, had a lot of making up to do after that first half, missed pen, and then ultimately the mistake that led to the Rotherham goal there, the turnover at the back. And it was, he knew he had to get back to work, and I honestly didn't think he'd have the opportunity. I thought JDT might have pulled the trigger at the halftime mark and said, hey, you know what, not your day, and, we have jobs to be done, jobs to be had, and they are, you gotta do your duties there. So that was bad mistakes first half, poor form there by the Rovers and by Sammy, but he makes up for it through and through there with a brace on the day, 2 goals to Sammy Smonich to tie the game up 2-2. And yeah, it was I would have liked Gallagher to get on the score sheet there, maybe with a winning goal, because I thought that would have done a lot for his confidence and optimism going forward into the Tigers game next week back at Fortress Ewood. But not meant to be, and unfortunately we couldn't get that last one in the back of the net there. A lot of crosses from the Rovers, but just no finishes. The defense doing everything they can. The pairs in net today with the Swede on the bench. Wallstedt probably will get his call soon enough, but I think Wallstedt on the bench sends a message that, it wasn't Hilton on the bench today. Wallstedt is there. He's ready, and if needed, he will be sent in. And I honestly thought maybe if Pears had given up another one or a bad one, that he might have been contemplating putting in and sending a message not only to the goalkeepers, but to the squad that, again, need to do your job, get it done. Rovers are here, and Rovers are looking to stay at the top of the table. They are at the top of the table here. A couple teams with 2 wins. We will take the 4 points after the poor first half there for Rovers today. But we look to the Tigers now, and we got to say, bring on the Tigers, but bring on the signings. And so, Greg Brown, get to work, get the job done. Plead, do whatever you have to Steve, the Venkies, get the money rolling in. It's coming in. We know we missed the David Raya money, but it is what it is. We can't depend on it all. We'll see. Will everybody be staying here that is on the squad here for the rest of this window at the very least? Story still to be told. We'll see. But, Pete with Philly Rovers here, guys. I look to the Tigers now, and I hope that we can continue this decent sort of form, but we do need some sort of clinical striker that will get the job done when we needed to get it done. And we were lucky that Sammy came up for us today after that. But again, the motivation was there. And so, we'll see. Tronstad didn't get the start today. Adam Wharton looking good. He was the one with the assist there to Sammy there to get us started, get us back on the scorecard. But yeah, that's all for me here today, guys. I'll be back again next Saturday. Tigers, Rovers, back at Ewood. 1 point today. Really wish we could have got 3. Really, really, really wished we could have got 3. It would have been tremendous, and it would have been harping back to last season when we started off 3 from 3, 9 points, and but this is our draw comes a lot sooner this season than last, so maybe that's now we're just going to be looking. We won't worry about the draws anymore. We'll just go after wins and try and keep those 3 points accumulating. So, and we'll be eyeing up the Foxes and so forth, and whoever needs. That we need to be on the lookout for. We want to get in those top 2. I was watching a little bit of the highlights. There was the Thomas Kaminsky, Jason.
Well then, Rovers 2, Rotherham United 2. An improvement on last season, to say the least, after the absolute battering we got off them. Was it 4-0? I mean, I went to the game, but I've tried to etch that game out of my memory, to be honest. But yeah, it was looking like it was going to be the same again, going 2-0 down. But thankfully, I mean, and as well as the missed penalty, but thankfully managed to have a bit of resurgence second half. Apparently Smodics had a absolutely terrible first half, but did what Sammy Smodics does and, pulled his socks up and got us a couple goals, and he's going to be a big player for us this season. That is the way you should respond to adversity, and he did just that. I like that, in the Walsall game, we conceded, instantly replied. We conceded again, instantly replied. And, today, even though they did have 10 men, to be fair, we're away from home. I imagine they were sitting in. Unfortunately, I couldn't see the game. I were tempted to go, but decided against it. But yeah, I mean, we've shown great character to get back into the game. Something that we didn't do at all last season. 6 points from losing positions last season, and 3 of those came in a wild last game against Millwall. So absolutely brilliant, and yeah, hopefully a sign of things to come. I mean, if you add points on to get those 6 points we got from losing positions up to 20 odd or so, for 20, 30 odd, that'll be a massive boost this season, and that could be the difference between playoffs really for us this season. It's going to be more points this season, you would think, to make the playoffs than it was last season, because it was such a low tally last season. But I think we've got good signs there. Absolutely brilliant from Ennis for the second goal. Took the ball down really well, and then a really threatening through ball to Sam Gallagher. What puts the defender in such an awkward spot, has to deal with it, and Smodics just picks up the scraps. So really good from Ennis there. Really positive play with that through ball, and that's what we've been looking for really. Someone to kind of offer that piece of skill and threatening through the lines. And good for Gallagher, to be fair, playing on the shoulder. It was a good run, and the ball had to be dealt with, like I said. So on to the next game now. I believe it's Hull at home. What you look at and think should be 3 points. I mean, today, before the game, would fans have been happy with a draw? I think a lot of fans would have wanted a win today, to be fair. It's one of the easiest away games on paper, but we do have a shocking record there. A friend of mine was interested when was the last time we won at Rotherham, and it was under Paul Lambert, so that just tells you how long it's been and how hard of a ground it is, to be fair, for us to go to. Somewhat of a boggy ground for us, so we'll take the draw under the circumstances for sure, but it does mean now, going into that whole game, I think we need to get a win, keep the pressure up, going under the radar a bit at the minute. I think we're dark horses for the playoffs. get these few more signings in, and there's absolutely no reason why we can't be in and around it if we get a striker. I think if we get that striker, it just tips us over the edge. Need that striker to just make the difference this season. So yeah, good result, I think. And I wouldn't sniff at a point away at Rotherham for sure. And yeah, bring Hull on. I think it should be a good day for Rovers at the office against them lot.
Okay, here's my quick reaction to Rovers drawing 2-2 away at Rotherham United at the New York Stadium. Well, Rovers, they started quite well apparently from what I've heard, but sloppy passing led to Rotherham scoring a goal, Smodics involved, and then it was a Route 1 corner that there was not a lot that anyone could do anything about apparently. And then Rovers are 2-0 down at half time, and then apparently soon after half time the guy who scored got another yellow. Part of the reason he got a yellow was harassing the referee to give someone else a card, so that seemed like karma there. So they're down to 10 men, Rotherham, and you'd think that Rovers could get back into it, and they had a lot of the play, more of the possession, but not enough shots on target. This is something they really have to work on, getting shots on target. That's the only way you score goals. So Rovers fought back into the game, and Smodics turned from a villain in the first half to hero in the second half. Yes, Rovers had a penalty in the first half, and Smodics failed to score it. He hit the post, and Dolan couldn't convert the rebound. So Smodics had a lot to prove, and he popped up with 2 goals in the second half. And that was a great response from him, and a great response from Rovers for making those goals happen for him. Adam Wharton played a great ball, a through ball pass, assist for Smodics for one of the goals. I don't know the details of the other goal, but Smodics, I think you've got to say he redeemed himself for the penalty miss, and it was a good response. And the only frustration for me is that Rovers couldn't get that third goal to win the game. But did they deserve it? I don't think they deserved a win, but they did deserve a draw. So we've got to be relieved they got the draw in the end.